Hello everyone, Alexa Donne here, and I know that something looks different, and that is because today I am going to be reacting to my 2019 goals, so the video that I filmed and posted a year ago. I don't really remember everything that I said in it, so I thought it would be fun to watch and reflect and react. So I'm just gonna start my video. I haven't watched this in a year, so it's gonna be really interesting. I've also never filmed a reaction video, so that's gonna be interesting too. So let's give this a try.
Hello everyone, Alexa Donne here. Happy 2019, happy new year. And today we're gonna talk about my 2019 writing goals. But I have to admit, I'm not really someone who aggressively sets goals at the beginning of the year. I think much like outlining feels like a straitjacket, aggressive goal setting feels that way to me too. But of course, I always have kind of general overarching goals. I definitely have short-term goals. So we're gonna talk a bit about what my goals are for 2019. And if you also are slightly terrified at goals, you have my permission to be like me, to be a bit loosey-goosey with your goals. And maybe then I'm goals. So my first goal for 2019, writing goal for 2019, is to write my YA thriller. Gosh, I hope it goes okay.
Spoiler, it went real well. So I'm talking about The Ivies, which is my first YA thriller, and at the time that I made this video a year ago, I genuinely didn't know if I could pull it off. I didn't know if, I felt like I could probably write it because I've written books before, but I didn't know if it would be good, I would be happy with it, and I also didn't know how quickly I could write it, which I suspect I'm about to talk about. So I not only wrote it, but I also sold it, and I also can't remember if I had anything like that in my goals, so we're gonna keep watching.
I have separate videos vlogging that whole experience and the terror of having to outline. Am I going to outline? I'm probably not going to outline, I won't lie. But I'm just really excited to write it. It's going to be my focus for the first quarter of 2019. So January through March is when I'm going to be working on this project. But I'm also going to be...
It took me from January to early May to write the first draft, and then edits took me through the summer. So things always take longer than you think they will in goals usually.
Be open to pivoting at any moment to goal number 2, which is to work on, polish, and submit my option material to my publisher. I'm working on a YA fantasy for
yeah, that did not happen. I did not touch my YA fantasy and did not submit it as option material to my publisher. I ended up submitting The Ivies as option material to my publishers. So that's kind of hilarious. It's a real blast from the past, but genuinely a year ago, I thought, oh, I should probably work on a different book for my option, but always talk to your agent about these things, because my agent was like, actually, I think we could submit this as your option because your editor might like it. So yeah.
That I have a very good chunk of it. It needs more work because I am a pantser. I want to have a much stronger sense of the story before I share anything with my publisher. So I'm probably going to be kind of pivoting between the two projects in the first half of the year.
Something I've learned about myself that I kind of knew about myself a year ago, so I'm lying to myself here. I'm a one project at a time writer. Once I commit to writing a book, I either finish it before moving on to something else, or I don't finish it. So this was a pipe dream from the start that I would go back and forth between two projects at the same time.
Usually I'm a one project at a time girl, but I guess a goal for me is to challenge my writing process, to experiment with the way that I write books. A good YA thriller has to be incredibly complex, but not feel that way to the reader. It's not gonna feel simple to the reader, but it has to go down like butter, because YA thrillers have to be immaculate page turners, and I enjoy the challenge of that. But it's definitely going to be tough, and I'm already trying to break my format, attempting to outline. I'm definitely planning this more than I've planned previous books. So it's the challenge of trying to write that, and especially trying to write it quickly. I want to bang out this draft if I can in 3 months. If it takes 4 or 5, that's okay, but this can't be a 9-month draft like my second book was. I will die.
I hit that goal. It's a fast draft. It took me, I think I started in mid-January and I finished, I was so sad that I couldn't finish on May 1st. I finished on May 3rd. So that took me, I know I had it like in my planner how long it actually took. I think it was 3.5 months. So February, March, April, May, 3.5 months. So I hit that goal. I did challenge myself and I met the challenge when it came to the thriller and I hit my time goals. So I feel good about both of those things. I mean, really all three, because I also technically finished the thriller, which is definitely a goal.
And overall, my goal, other than challenging myself in my writing process and pushing myself to grow and learn, I just want to have fun. Both of these projects I'm really excited about. They're fun projects. Right now, I don't have anyone else's deadlines being imposed on me. It's all self-imposed. So the goal is to have fun working on both of these and to also be open to new ideas. This thriller idea came to me out of the blue before Thanksgiving and I pivoted and I'm kind of energized by that. If I have some other brilliant idea this year, I want to be open to pivoting and working on that. So my goal generally though is to finish at least one book, finish 2 if I can, and okay, goals that are out of my control. Is this goal number 3? Is it goal number 4? I don't know. So goals that are out of my control. Industry goals, publishing goals. I want to sell another book. It's tough because so much of that is out of my control. So
I did it. I sold the Ivies. It was really a big year for me. It was totally out of my control, but what was in my control was to finish the draft and get it to my agent and hope that we could go on submission. So I accomplished that. So let's see what else I had to say.
Really what I want to sell is my option, but like, I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take me to write something, to polish something. I have to kind of go with the flow with my agent. But yeah, I would like to sell another book this year. I would love to go into 2020 and book 2, which will be out February 4th, 2020, knowing that I have a book 3. That would be really, really great.
Yay. And honestly, it is such a huge relief because essentially my first book deal was for 2 books and that second book's coming out February 4th, 2020, The Stars We Steal. And I knew going into this year, as I know going into this next year, but this next year I have so much more relief and confidence. I knew that you're lucky to get a first book deal. Mine was for 2 books, but the challenge really is if you can get another. So it was such a huge goal for me in 2019, a year where I didn't have a book coming out, to take advantage of that time to write something saleable. Now, I wanted to sell it as an option. I didn't sell it as an option to my publisher. I went on wide submission and I sold it to Penguin Random House, which I am pretty sure I did not say as a goal in this video that I wanted to sell to a big 5, because that's the kind of goal that you do not whisper aloud in a video. My dreams came true. You know, I was able to sell my thriller to a major publishing house. So yeah.
And if I can sell more than 1 book, that would be even more amazing. But I also don't want to put too much pressure on myself. So let's just talk a bit about writer goals. I've seen a lot of authors with what I consider very lofty goals. I mean, it's great, reach for the sky. But I've seen people who want to sell 3-4 books in different genres in 2019, which more power to them if they can do it. But I think it's really slightly dangerous when you are a newer writer, an aspiring writer, a debut writer, to put too much pressure on yourself to be a big seller. Something that I've learned working with my agent that has been so valuable, I love her patience with me, is I'm a very full steam ahead kind of person. So me, a few years ago when I sold Brightly Burning, even before I sold Brightly Burning, I was gunning for, okay, I want to work on all these different projects and can you sell me in different genres? How many book deals can we get? And my agent was like, deep breaths, slow down, 1 foot in front of the other. We focus on Brightly Burning until Brightly Burning is done. Then we focus on your contract book until your contract book is done. And then we can talk about options and other things. And I like that she essentially kind of pulled the brakes on me, or just kind of like slowed me down. She slowed me down a little bit because she was right. It wouldn't have done me any good to hyper-focus on future projects and things out of my control and trying to barrel full steam ahead into publishing and my career Publishing's weird and publishing's slow, so I don't want to barrel too far ahead or get too far ahead of myself now or set really unrealistic high expectations for myself. I just want to take it one project at a time and see where it goes. So I think it's hopefully realistic to sell one book. We're gonna go with that.
I sold the one book. How many times have I said that? I'm so sorry. I still agree with everything I just said, and everything I just said remains true. It's a very rare author, especially debut author, who can magically end up selling 4 or 5 projects in a year in different spaces and kind of become that magical juggling full-time author. And it's never quite felt like the right fit for me, certainly not right now. And I remain happy with my strategy of taking it one book at a time. And specifically here, I focused on the Ivies and this essentially a brand pivot. This is like a restart button for my writing career in a lot of ways, because so many people will potentially discover me as a thriller writer who had no clue who I was before, because they just weren't the audience for my previous books, for Brightly Burning and now The Stars We Steal. So that strategy has worked really well in the course of the year. I don't know if I end up talking about my hope for future books, but in the course of the year, I had another really great thriller idea, YA thriller idea, or I really love it, and I started developing that. So I just feel really confident and firm about moving forward. 2019 was a garbage year personally, but professionally was a really good year for me. Oh, the cognitive dissonance of that. But I still agree with past me. Also, side note, I'm going to be a little shallow. I really didn't mean to have such blown out lighting on this or other similar videos. It's been a real learning curve filming in front of this bookshelf, because I get the beautiful California sunlight through the window, and I also use my soft kit on the other side. You see how it's like really balanced on one side of the frame and too bright on the other? That's the window. So that said, my hair looks really cute. Like, my color's super on point here. I kind of like that lipstick, and I don't remember which one it is. I bet it's ColourPop, though. I bet it's ColourPop. I bet the makeup is ColourPop, too. Yeah.
My next goal is simply to continue investing in this YouTube channel. I'm shocked and impressed at myself that I've kept up a 3 times a week schedule for an obscenely long amount of time, with a couple little moments in there where I've done 1 or 2, like during the holidays. I want to keep going. I might at some point go to 2 videos a week, but as long as I have a million ideas for filming, which I still have, I'm gonna try to stick to 3 times a week. I want to grow the channel. I want more subscribers. I want to engage more. I want to reach more people. I'm really starting to get the feedback from so many people that I'm sharing things about traditional publishing that they just had never heard before, and that makes me happy when I hear that, because that's the entire point that I'm here. I'm trying to share things and be transparent and just give good information to people so that they can make more well-informed and educated choices. So big goal for me this year is just to keep it up.
Okay, so I did end up dropping down to 2 videos a week for a majority of the year because my mom got sick and passed away. So that was something that was kind of out of my control, and it became kind of I can manage 2 times a week, but 3 times a week might break me, though this month I've tried to go back up to 3 because I've had a lot of videos and ideas to get out. But regardless, I think I met this goal. I more or less continued my momentum. I'm really proud of some of the videos I posted this year. I found the time and kind of brain space to do some of those super deep dives that I know are obscenely long. I also know they're very niche. A tiny percentage of my viewership cares about a 40-minute video about publishing contracts. But that niche audience who wants to watch a 40-minute video on publishing contracts, I'm really proud of that video, for example, and a couple of the other ones where I did research, I asked questions, I put together what I think is really solid information. I think I did my question to ask on the call video this year as well for agents. I definitely did some material on agents this year. I love making those kinds of videos, but they're also a little bit intense. I experimented with some lighter fare this year, which was fun, and I started to do more booktube content this year, like a lot of booktube content, which I don't think I could have predicted when I filmed this goals video because I hadn't broken my reading slump yet. And that has been a delightful surprise discovery this year of how much I've loved making those videos. And I also know that a chunk of my audience is like, why is she making Booktube videos, I love them. And ultimately, sometimes as a creator, you need to make the videos you like to make. And honestly, in the face of my personal stuff, I've liked making those videos, which is why you're getting them. You 3,000 to 5,000 people who care about my book videos that are always an hour long. I'm sorry, but not sorry, because I know the book fam likes them. But I think it's been a really interesting year for me on YouTube. I don't know off the top of my head how many subs I had at the beginning of the year. I think I hit 20K last December. Does that sound correct? I'm at 55,000 now. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. I appreciate every single one of you. I've tried to be really, really good at staying on top of comments. I try to reply to as many people as I can. I try to like all your comments so that you know that I've seen them. I've been trying to use the community tab, though I feel like I could be better at that, but I definitely feel I hit my YouTube goals for the year, so that was good.
Another goal, it's a goal, but it's something I'm gonna do either way, is to start promoting The Stars We Steal, like really promote it. Not in the first quarter of the year / half. Again, it's like deep breaths, take it slow, one thing at a time. I'm going to probably start like really thinking about how I want to market it and like do promo starting like in the summer. We'll see when I get my arcs, which is good. I don't want to focus on that promo until I've worked on these drafting projects, because when I'm doing promo, because I love promo, I tend to get really distracted from drafting. So I'm gonna like do that in the second half of the year. And then
Yes. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Hey, I have a book coming out February 4th, 2020, The Stars We Steal. Go buy it. Does this count as promo? Because I wasn't super specific with my promo goals, but I can tell you that when I made this, I had very lofty expectations of all the marketing that I could get done and would get done for the book. But being perfectly honest, all the personal stuff really took the wind out of my sails. And generally, I hate to be a downer, and I'm going to try not to, but losing my mom this year, you can't predict how you're going to react when something this big happens to you. And I've been such a mixed bag. Like, there's certain things that I just like stayed on top of and have been super on my shit, because weirdly, being super on top of those things has helped me cope with all of my feelings. Like this YouTube channel honestly was a very grounding thing for me. All the books I've been reading has been super grounding. That's why you've gotten more booktube content, because I have been throwing myself into reading, honestly, partly as a massive coping mechanism. Other things I haven't been as good at. First of all, my correspondence has always been kind of bad. It's been real bad. I have like forgotten to reply to people. I've signed up to do like a blog thing and forgotten about it. And thankfully people have been understanding. Like my brain has become Swiss cheese about that kind of stuff. And the logistical organization that marketing a book requires, I've had to really pick and choose what I've actually committed to doing for The Stars We Steal, because like it's like my brain and my emotions can only handle so much. It is now almost Christmas, and I still have not figured out if I'm doing a launch event for this book. I might not, because a part of my brain literally can't handle planning it. That said, I have a pre-order campaign. I'm actually really proud of myself for putting that together. Designing the pieces for it was one of those kind of distraction techniques I did use in the summer when I was fresh with grieving. And I think that's why the pre-order campaign came together, because I genuinely enjoyed putting together those elements. So that's why you're getting a pre-order campaign. I'm not going to enjoy the fulfillment so much. Like, getting to the post office remains a problem of mine, and we're definitely going to wing it. You're going to get your stuff. The winging it part is, do I pre-buy postage? Do I just buy stamps? I'm going to figure it out. I'm doing that, and honestly, every time I've managed to do an art giveaway, I'm real proud of myself. But that said, I did the easiest one in October, which was YouTube. You guys are great. It's really easy for me to run a giveaway on YouTube, and you guys are so engaged and wonderful. I think I did a Twitter one in October too, but did I put off my Instagram giveaway and my newsletter giveaway until December? Yes, I did. God, I could do a whole video about... Listen, I know Instagram's a great platform and people are really engaged there, but running a giveaway on it is super duper annoying. You have to manually track every single entry. I really don't like it. Anyway, point is, I did get it done eventually. But I guess there's probably more marketing I could have done that I honestly haven't done. I feel I met this goal in so much as I did as much as I could personally handle. I hope people buy my book. But honestly, at this point, this year has been such an emotional wreck for me that weirdly, I'm almost apathetic about my own book coming out. That's really sad to say. I still feel I met this goal, but past me was so optimistic and far more excited about everything than current me is able to be. The thing is, past me who was setting these goals didn't know what 2019 had in store. So really, we're almost done here. I accomplished almost all of my professional goals. Just personally, what a year. Let's see how I finish this out.
Next goal, honestly, now that I'm not on any official deadlines, is to just spend more time with my friends. My poor friends who I ignored for so much of 2018 because I was going bonkers on my book deadlines. So I just want to spend more quality time with people. I want to do lots of well refilling this year, lots of reading. Oh my gosh, this is the goal. Okay, I want to read more in 2019 because my reading slump in 2018 was really, really bad.
Did it. I've read, I think I'm at 62 books for the year. I did actually end up setting a goal on Goodreads. On Goodreads, I set a goal of 30 books. And it was March, and I was like, I'm going to hit my reading goal. So I upped it to 40, and then I blew past that, and I just didn't update it. I just kept going. So now I think I'm at 62. Am I at 62? I'm at 61 or 62, and I'm reading another book right now. I suspect I'm going to close out the year at 63 or 64 books. Man, maybe I should push to get to 65 so it's a nice number. But yeah, and honestly, almost all of the reading was for fun. It was a really good reading year for me, so I totally met this goal. I did see my friends more, though funnily in the first part of the year, the friends I saw were the ones who would meet me for writing dates while I pounded out the Ivies. Also went to a writing retreat, which was really fun. And then again, such a bummer. Honestly, one of the reasons I've seen my friends a lot, mostly this year, is because they've been kind of comforting me in light of my life blowing up. So I did actually meet my social goals this year, but for a very depressing reason. And I'm also very grateful to my friends because they've all really come out for me. If I need them, if I say, hey, I need distraction, can we see a movie, they're always there. I have a lot of really good friends out here. So goal met in a depressing way, and the reading, I did all the reading, so that's good.
Really, I think that's it for kind of writerly related goals. Again, so I don't want to set too many goals. I don't want to be too rigid in my goals. I don't want my goals to be unattainable. I want these goals, these writerly goals, to be things that I want to do, that are fun, that are attainable, that I probably would do anyway, but it's nice to kind of put, make it slightly official, make a list. So yeah, those are my goals. I want to write new things. I want to challenge myself. I want to have fun. I want to see my friends. I want to read more. Just want to read more. So really, this is kind of almost like a self-care year in a lot of ways. Because I spent 18 months straight on deadline or promoting my book, Brightly Burning, and then working on The Stars We Steal. It's all good things. It's all blessings. But from the moment I sold in April 2017 until basically late October 2018, I was on some kind of deadline for someone, feeling stressed about writing and feeling stressed about editing, and I still loved the process. I still was having fun, and I love the book that I came up with, and I'm proud of Brightly Burning coming out. I'm proud of this channel, but this is the self-care year. This is the year where I'm gonna have it be fun again.
If only she knew the reason she would need self-care this year. I have focused a lot on self-care this year. Goal accomplished. In the early half of the year, though, I mentioned having fun, writing for fun, and I think that was really my number one goal for the year. having fun writing my thriller and kind of discovering the joy in the writing, which I did. The Ivies was a blast. I'm looking forward to my next thriller because I know it's going to be equally as fun. I really feel like I've cracked a new writing process for these books, and I'm just energized by it all. So goal met. I think being kind of loosey-goosey with my goals really worked out for me in 2019. It was definitely a self-care year for a variety of reasons. And weirdly, it was really nice having a year off from promoting a book. Not having a book out this year was both low-key stressful because it's 20 months between my book releases, which basically feels like I disappeared for a really long time. But at the same time, it was kind of a relief. Didn't even have to stress about best of lists or any of that stuff I wouldn't be on anyway because I didn't have a book out. So taking it easy. Oh, yeah. Honestly, these dark days of publishing in YA, you should always be exercising self-care. Every year should be a self-care year, or you'll drive yourself a little bit batty. So that's the end of my 2019 goals. I'm kind of impressed with myself. Other than the whole working on my fantasy book as an option, I hit every single goal I set for 2019. But I think part of that is I was very kind to myself. I think these were super attainable goals. I mean, they were things I really wanted to do. A couple challenges in there. But I feel really good about 2019 as a writing and a professional year. And I'm pretty energized going into 2020. I have some slightly loftier, firmer goals for 2020. And because I feel like this is kind of long, I'm going to cover that in a separate video. I'll just film a little my 2020 goals video so it can be separate from this, but honestly, I've really enjoyed reflecting on this. I'm really not used to watching back my past videos, but particularly this one. I threw it up last January and I have definitely not looked at it since. So, this is kind of refreshing. I feel like, hey, especially when things do go really poorly, we all have bad years or bad times. It's nice to focus on the things that went really, really well. The things that I was able to work on and do that brought me joy that also went really well. I mean, the biggest thing for this year was selling a book. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so happy. It's a relief to know that I have a career through 2021. It's always like, what's the next book? And I at least know what that is, and I have something to kind of work towards. So I feel really good going into 2020, reflecting on 2019. Let's hope that I reacted well and that this went well. So give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Maybe I'll do other reacting to my old video types of things, or at least make this goals thing a yearly tradition. Let me know down below in the comments, how did you do with your 2019 goals? Did you meet most of them? Are there certain ones that you didn't quite hit that you're going to try again in 2020? How did you go with your goals in 2019? As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and happy writing.